guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be sharing with you how I incorporate eyeshadows in coloring this comb and ruler with resin. First, we're gonna need the eyeshadows. This one, I transfer the eyeshadows in the containers just so they won't mix, because I'm gonna be needing powder of them, and if they stay in the palette it will really mix up the colors. We can use several kinds of colors, any kind of eyeshadows, but I do not suggest that you use the expensive ones. You can just buy the one in Daiso or Dollar Tree. They have and they provide different range of colors, like this one. This one is a blush on. It also colors well, it blends well with the resin. Just mix them thoroughly, but I don't suggest that you use your expensive one. We can really use eyeshadows in different kinds, but this is not the real thing. I suggest that you just use this if you don't access the mica powder. This one is a good substitute if you don't have that one at the moment, and also if you really can't afford, because it's quite pricey, and this one is a cheap alternative and it's really good. I tried it many times, and it never fails to surprise me how shiny some are. First, we're gonna be needing silicone mat. I always use silicone mat to avoid destroying your table, and silicone mats, in using resin, easily to clean, so I suggest we all use silicone mats. And they also easy to store. And then we're gonna be needing molds. Today I'm gonna be using comb and ruler, and I'm gonna be using this tray as a mixing palette. This is disposable, and this is not really for resin, it is for watercolors. And then we're gonna be needing flowers and any kind of embellishment, and glitters, and as well as the UV resin. First, we're gonna put a little amount of a clear resin. I'm using UV resin right now, and then I'm gonna be choosing any color from my eyeshadow set. Maybe I'm gonna use I wanted to become beach like, or so I'm gonna be using this green. I don't know what the exact color in the cosmetic world, but it's like aquamarine green. And then I just mix it well, and yes, you can see I just put a little bit of it, and it colors really saturated, but you just really need to mix them very well. In this part, I'm gonna be putting them, I want them to be on the tooth of the comb, so I can design with other color, or just maybe a clear one on the bigger part of the comb. It's really up to you, whatever the looks that you're looking for. And then after we finish the green one, I'm gonna put the clear one on the side, to fill in the space. Just be careful when you're spreading it with a toothpick, not to push too hard so you won't destroy your silicone molds. Just mix them well, and make sure that all edges are covered, and no space left. It should be fully covered. If your resin that you put is not enough, you can add a little bit more, or if you want to have a little swirl of the blending of colors, you can swirl the edge of the color a little bit, so they won't look separated. In this one, I used some pigments that I don't really mix well. The first time I put the powder, I mixed them really well. That's why it's very green. And then I wanted to have a little bit of the dot of green, so I add again, but I did not mix well. So I can see some parts that are still uh, dots of pigment. Uh, and then if you think that your resin isn't enough, you can add a little bit more. And now is the time that I'm gonna add a little bit of glitters. I really like glitters, so I certainly put glitters in most of my projects because I like it sparkly. uh, it's either I use glitters like this, or I use the powder, the really fine powder of glitters. They also look good and shiny in your project. And now I wanted to add a little embellishment to pop up the design and to pop some colors. I'm gonna be adding flowers. In here, I'll just put it on the handle of the comb, so the look of the green on top won't be distracted. The focal point, I want the focal point to be the just the bottom with the flower, and can clearly see the green to emphasize the color that we put, which is the, so we can see how well the eyeshadows blend well with resins. Now this is done. I'm just gonna keep it aside, and I'm gonna do the ruler first so we can cure them together, since this is UV resin, before we cure them on the um, machine. Here I wanted to add a little bit of green, but I don't want to overpower it, so I won't use the leaf. I'm just adding a little dried flowers with yellow color, yellow green, just to add some design, and also to improve the look of it. um, as you can see, I just poke little just to shrink the flowers, but not too hard that would destroy the silicone molds. Now that it is done, I'm gonna set it aside, and I'm gonna make the ruler. In my ruler, I want it to be a beach-like. I wanted to have the look of the waves, or the end of the waves on the shore. I wanted to have like little pointy parts that resembles the water on the shore, but I don't want to put sand in this because I want it to be thin. So I'm just gonna add again resin, and I'm gonna add this blue just a little bit, because I wanted to have a little blue on the deeper part of the ruler, that it would resemble the water itself, the deeper part of the water. So I'm just gonna add it on the edge, on the deeper part of the ruler, just on the other side. I'm gonna leave the other side blank first, empty first. I'll just spread this around carefully, avoiding to poke the molds. I don't want to destroy the molds, so just like this. And then after that one, after we put all of that, I'm gonna mix another one again, some resin again, and then I'm gonna add a little glitter on it. But first, I'm just gonna add little shells because I want them to stick at the bottom of the ruler, so they will be on water before I add another resin. I'm just choosing different small shells, so they will look like the some shells from underwater were um, pushed by the waves on the shore. And now I'm gonna add again another resin. This is just clear resin. I didn't put any color in it. I just add some glitters because I always find a way to add glitters in my things because I really like sparkles. And then after this one, I'm gonna add more clear resin to cover it, and then once it is set, I'm gonna cure it for about 5 minutes. And then now here is our finished product. As you can see, the green one is really saturated. It looks really good. And then the flower at the bottom helps the look of it. And this one, I'm really surprised because I thought it will be a little bit lighter because I really want it to be clear. Even I put a little bit of blue, I want it to be more clear than this one, but it's okay. It may look better if I wanted it. Here is my comb. Let me give you a closer look into it. As you can see, the pigments of the eyeshadow really blend well with the resin. I repeat, those tiny bits are intentional. It is my preference, but as you can see, the green eyeshadow blends well with the resin, and our flower pops up. And here is my ruler. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it clearly in the camera because it's white and it's clear, but through the help of the toothpick, I'm able to recreate some shadows, some water on the shore. It's not too flat. Because I really wanted it to have the waves look and the end of the water. So through the help of toothpick and also the layering of the resin that we pour, I was able to recreate a little bit of the water waves. I'm gonna try to have more photos to show this better, but we can't see clearly because the background is white. But I also add some little details. It is for nail art, and nail art materials are also good in using in resin. I'm trying a different angle here so we can see on camera. There you go. Can see a little bit of the water waves that I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with this color, and this is just one way of using your unused or just the leftover eyeshadows. This is one way of using them rather than just keeping them on the drawers or throwing them away. We can use this in different crafts, just like the way that I used in making this one. And I hope that you like it, and if you like it, please do share and subscribe for more. And I hope you also make you try to make and use your eyeshadows, leftover eyeshadows or leftover makeup into different crafts. Thank you.